So deck tech for what I hope may be close to about as good as we can get the deck. Let me explain. So I really like the Blaststones in the main. Just excellent value. Believe it or not, I think Pyrite Spellbomb is completely main deckable, and that frees up sideboard slots. Like, I know this traditionally is thought of as a sideboard card, and I know this kind of like rose to prominence in a way. I remember when this started appearing in a few Boros Burn sideboards, like as tech against opposing core Firewalkers. Remember when Boros Burn was everywhere in Modern, like when it took over one of the PTs, and the pros, some pros like quote discovered Pyrite Spellbomb. I always knew about it, but I'm not to toot my own horn or anything. I've always got my pulse on janky nonsense like this, but and truth be told, I mean, like, the reality is the pros knew about it because I'm pretty sure a lot of them had their pulse on Legacy too, and there was a Legacy deck called Bomberman that used this card. It's like, it's the reality is this card only looks janky, I think, to people who haven't necessarily played it a lot. The reality is, there's a lot of decks. I mean, Urza uses it too. Like, actually, this is better than it looks. The reality is, like, it's not a good burn card, and I think most people kind of look at burn type spells traditionally through the lens of a burn deck. But, like, the reality is, for, like, a mid-rangey or even control-ish type deck, having a burn spell that can cycle is just pretty good, It can deal 2 damage relatively early over in 2 installments. It can also draw a card over 2 installments. It's just good stuff, and, I mean, it's just completely main deckable, and, when you main deck cards that, like, are, traditionally thought of as sideboard cards as a main deck card, and when you absolutely can, you free up sideboard slots, and when you free up sideboard slots, you really can increase the power of your deck, because you can throw some haymakers that the opponent isn't expecting, which we're going to get to in a moment. But yeah, Relic of Progenitus, speaking of sideboard cards you can play in the main, I mean, some of the only decks we lose against are graveyard-based decks, so, why not take the fight rate to them, like Croxidex, for example. Without Relic, sometimes they just can't, you can't just really, stop them, but with Relic, sometimes they just can't stop you. No DRC. DRC doesn't necessarily work well with Relic, but I honestly find that the only 1-drop we really need is Ragavan, and that also maximizes the powerful, like, 3-drops we can accelerate into with Bonecrusher back in the mix. I mean, sometimes you just accelerate into a turn 3 Bonecrusher Giant when you have nothing better to do, and sometimes just a 4/3 on turn 2 is just pretty good. You know what I mean? Plus Stomp, of course, a 2-for-1. Magus of the Moon. I like Magus of the Moon in the main over Blood Moon. I really do, because because, like, here's the idea. Okay, we can basically outgrind almost every fair deck. We've got Relic to take care of the unfair graveyard-based decks, and we've got Magus of the Moon to take care of the unfair big mana decks. And hear me out, okay? There are a small subset of decks, like, for example, Titan Shift, or Bring to Light Scapeshift, or something like that, that play a lot of removal for cards like Magus of the Moon, like play a lot of creature removal and play like a big mana win condition. But the reality is, Amulet Titan has mostly kind of displaced most of these other big mana decks. Amulet Titan, Tron, E-Tron, like those are the most common types of big mana decks you're going to see. So other than like the Scapeshift Titan type decks, either the Turbo Titan or the Bring to Light Scapeshift types of decks, which you don't see as much anymore, like, for the most part, most of the big mana decks you play, they're much more kind of combo focused, and they don't necessarily play a lot of creature removal. And Mages of the Moon is just great in that regard, because you can just play it down for 3, screw up their mana. It's a clock, so, like, you can play it on turn 3, turn 4 you can put Obosh to hand, turn 5 you can play Obosh, attack for 4. It's just good stuff, So that's the thing. The reality is we don't necessarily get a Moon effect except for these kind of unfair matchups. Oh, and for Urza Saga, can't forget that. And, there's a lot to like about Magus of the Moon against Urza Saga, because they play Urza Saga, you drop Magus of the Moon, you blow up the Urza Saga, and then even if they deal with the Magus of the Moon, you still blow up their Urza Saga. So, because it goes away permanently, and it goes to the graveyard, I mean. So, like, there's just a lot to like, and one of the things I like the most is that there are certain matchups, primarily the main which is Hammer Time, where, like, we really need the Blast Zones that we're playing in the main. And unlike Blood Moon, we actually have the wherewithal to turn off our own Moon effect. We can burn our own Magus of the Moon, and then we can turn on our Blast Zone, particularly against Hammer Time. To some extent, maybe like Enchantress, maybe Boggles. It depends on the matchup. But, like, there are certain matchups where, like, we might play a Magus of the Moon early for whatever reason, either to blow up an Urza Saga against against Hammer Time, or because we think we can color screw somebody against like Boggles or whatever. But then if for whatever reason it turns out that either we're not color screwing them or they're going to kill us anyway unless we like can turn on our Blast Zone, we can just burn our own mages, turn on the Blast Zone, and then have Blast Zone do its thing. And I kind of like that. I kind of like that flexibility. Sure, there are some matchups, you know, where just having like a hard moon effect that they can't necessarily burn, you know, like for example Titan Shift and Bring to Light Scape Shift, you know, there are a certain class of decks that play a lot of red removal. It can go right through a Magus of the Moon. And for that, we've got our 4 Blood Moons in the sideboard. We can just bring those in if that's the case. We even have access to 8 Moon effects if they happen to be soft to both Magus and Blood Moon. And with Pillage as well, you know, we've never been better set up to deal with like a Tron deck or something, at least in games 2 and 3. It can be a little tough in games 1 and 2 because our clock can be a little bit glacial at times. But, you know, with this many mana screwing effects and with Obosh, you know, possibly being able to, you know, to clean up, to get to work cleaning up after the fact, you know, plus Chalice of the Void against like traditional Tron, you know, sometimes this can really turn off a lot of 1-drop eggs and whatnot that they have. You know, it's just, I just really like, I like the way Magus is just, you know, it's a body and it's disruption, and we can turn on our own Blast Zone again. It just also seems like just kind of the safer main deck card. It's never like completely dead, even if they completely fetch their own Blood Moon and they're prepared and whatnot. It's just, I don't know, especially since we don't have Pillage in game 1. So like, you know, there's just like a very, very low floor and a very, very high ceiling for Magus, and you also have to like the way they can't force a negation it. So that means there's a decent amount of non-red based control matchups where this thing is really hot stuff, you know. So in any case, yeah. So that takes us to, you know, Hammer Bogargan, obviously just recursive, incredibly useful late game tool, and you know, a little bit mediocre to say the least, early game burn spell. But the fact that it is a burn spell, but it's also like a late game in a can. I don't know. I mean, I know this card is like the jankiest thing ever, but I don't know what to say other than that it's done well for me, and I don't see why to abandon it just yet. Seasoned Pyromancer, we all know that, you know, well. Fury, you know, this is gonna basically take the role of Flame Slash. You know, I was playing both of them for a long time, but the reality is we don't necessarily need, I think, you know, 4 of these effects. I think, you know, I mean 8 of these effects. I think 4 works just fine, and yeah, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say other than yeah, I think that's I think it's good stuff, and yeah, plus it's a late game powerhouse if you can play it. Deal with multiple stuff. Just incredibly flexible, incredibly low cost mana. It's a 0 mana card effectively. Can deal with extra copies of like anything that is not particularly useful in the moment. Can pitch Spikefield Hazard too, which is kind of nice. Yeah, sideboard, I mean, we got Blood Moon. Undead with Bugbear, you know, it's just pretty much free. Very rarely does it come into play tapped in the later turns. If you got it, you play it in the first 2 turns, and unless you draw it in like the next couple turns, I know after that, and, you know, a lot of times it's just not really gonna mess you up that much. Blood Moon, you know, like I said, when you need the real thing, we've got him in the sideboard. Pillage, of course, can supplement Blood Moon and also just deal with artifacts without necessarily having to rely on Blast Zone. And then we got Ensnaring Bridge. You know, we're dropping this to a 2 of. Like, I just feel like if we're playing 4 Magus in the main, I feel like Blood Moon is the card that's more non-negotiable as a 4 of. So if we're playing 4 Magus, then I think we got to play 4 Blood Moon, and that means we got to cut something down to 2, and I think that's going to be Ensnaring Bridge, and I think that's fine because we're playing Chalice now. And I really like Chalice because, yeah, I really like Chalice because, like, think about it, okay? I know that this turns off Obosh, but I think if there's ever a card that we can give up playing Obosh, it's Chalice. I know a lot of people are on Voidmere because Voidmere also stops like Cascade, and stopping Cascade is one of the main reasons to play Chalice. But okay, this is why I ultimately decided to go with Chalice. We have 2 main weaknesses in the current meta. We are soft to Cascade, particularly to Glimpse. You know, we can take some games here and there from Rhinos, but I played Rhinos enough to know that we are an underdog. I don't think we're like more than a 40% underdog, but it still sucks to be an underdog at all. And we're kind of like a 35 or maybe even 30 underdog against Glimpse. That deck is just kind of rough. We can beat it, but it is just kind of rough. You know, and Living End, you know, I think we are slightly favorable just because we do pack a lot of main deck hate in the form of possibly turn 2 Moon effects, turn 1 relics in the main. You know, we're definitely favorable, but like, you know, just having Chalice also just prevents us from getting juked, you know, just less ways to have a problem with that. And let's be honest, between Chalice and Voidmere, Chalice is just the better, you know, anti-cascade sack because you play this for 0. I mean, come on, that's, you know, you can't beat a 0 mana hate piece. So yeah, I mean, there's really a lot to like about Chalice. You really do have to like it. And yeah, but here's the thing: Chalice is not just actually great against Cascade. The reason why I actually decided to go with Chalice instead of Voidmere is we're also soft to burn. Okay, and guess what also hoses burn? Chalice. And guess what else? Unlike Merfolk, we can put Chalice to 2 pretty freely. We get. I mean, how often do we get to 4 mana on turn 4 pretty easily anyway? Like. And honestly, putting Chalice on 2 is kind of better against burn anyway, because it turns off their Master Smithereens and whatnot. So yeah, I mean, you know, we obviously play it on 1 a lot of times, but oftentimes, you know, if they've seen it, and even, you know, if it becomes common enough in the meta, like if we just are patient enough to wait till turn 4, you know, ideally we want to play it on turn, you know, on 1 and then play it on turn 4, so that, you know, because, you know, if you play it on Chew, then, you know, playing it with Chalice on 2 will set off a Chalice on 1. But nonetheless, you know, whether it's on 1 or 2, you can shut off a lot of burn spells from the opponent, and that's pretty huge. Of course, it does turn off Obosh, and that can shorten the clock, but, you know, it is worth noting we do have Ragavan, Bonecrusher, Magus, Seasoned Pyromancer, and Fury. We do have 20 creatures back in the mix. You know, that's one reason why I like going to 4 Magus on the Moon. I think it's really solid. I think it's really solid to just have more creatures, even if it is a little bit fragile, and it does cost a lot of mana for just being a 2/2, but it does have that powerful effect attached to it. I think Chalice is the way to go. Now, obviously, we give up the main benefit of Voidmere, which is absolutely trashing on Etron, and while nobody would love to trash on Etron more than me, the reality is Etron is a very rare deck that we very rarely see. I think it's poor. I don't know if it's poorly positioned. I mean, most of the Tron decks we see are Green Tron, and Green Tron really goes over the top hard against Etron anyway. I don't really know. I don't know exactly how Etron's place is in the meta right now, but I do think that, I mean, one thing that might push people toward it is that obviously it's playing main deck Chalice, which Chalice can be great in this meta. Obviously, we're playing in a sideboard. But I think, yeah, at the end of the day, I just don't see a lot of Etron. I think Voidmere is doing some work in suppressing Etron, you know, for us. Other people are playing Voidmere, and I think that is helping because it does have crossover application against Cascade. I love the fact that they printed Voidmere. While I'm not playing it myself, and while I would love to play it, you know, I think the reality is I see Burn a lot more than Etron. Burn is like a relatively budgetish deck. It's relatively straightforward to play. Relatively, I said, because there's obviously a lot of nuance to it if you played it long enough. Yeah, and we are a little soft to it, so just Chalice plugs both the Cascade and the Burn hole, and also plugs the... It also like can plug Infect, so I don't think we need much help against Infect. And even Ad Nauseam to some extent, because we can put it on 1 and we can deal with Angel's Grace. If we're really patient, we can put it on 3 for what do you call it? For Phyrexian on Life, but, you know, I don't know. That's probably, you know, too much. But yeah, and also we can put it on 0 for the you know, for those Lotus Blooms, which can be pretty important because Lotus Blooms are one of the #1 ways that they get around our moon effects. So actually, Chalice of the Void in theory can help shore up the Ad Nauseam matchup a lot, which I've honestly probably seen Ad Nauseam more than Etron too. And, you know, Voidmere just doesn't really do jack against Etron. Look, let's get to the games. I like this. I am actually recording this before the league this time, so let's see how we do. But I think this is going to be pretty good. I ran 2 test leagues actually, and I'll say right now, the first one I went, you know, I ran 2, yeah, test leagues. The first one I recorded, but I accidentally recorded without the new microphone. I had my mouth in front of the microphone the whole time, but I didn't know that it wasn't plugged in. So inadvertently, I had the old mic, you know, with all the noise and everything recording. I'm not sure if that's going to go up or not, but I went 4-1, and then in a completely unrecorded league, I went 2-3, which was disappointing. But I just felt like, honestly, like we took 1 loss against Borisburn, where if I just played Chalice on 2 instead of on 1, I definitely would have won that. Hardened Scales, and I punted hard against Jund. I forgot to side out Ragavan, and I sided out Ragavan instead of Bonecrusher, when Bonecrusher, being both like a bigger body and like a removal spell for their Ragavans and stuff, was obviously just a way better choice. I was honestly just not in my element, and you know, sometimes like it's important, like our knee-jerk reaction is if we don't have a very good league, we just want to change something. But honestly, I felt like I felt like I thought like at least two of my 3 losses in the one that I went 2-3 after the 4-1 were completely my fault. Hardened Scales, sometimes that deck just jukes you, but I realized that it was a mistake to bring in a Snaring Bridge. I mean, you know, it's only 1 card, but I did happen to have it in my hand when I lost, and it did jack because obviously they can just put all their counters on something, and you know, with they ended up getting a two Arcbound Ravagers, and they put me in a spot where like they were putting all the 2 Arcbound Ravagers and an Ozolith, so they put all their counters on something. Well, actually, I guess they couldn't in combat, but anyway, they can attack under the bridge and then put all their counters on after they attack. Yeah, so it's just, you know, bridge is just not super great, and I think just any other burn spell probably would have been a lot better in that spot. So anyway, but yeah, that was the only matchup that I think I mean, you know, at least 2 of the 3 losses, you know, I think really should have been wins. So I feel like this at least should have been another 4-1. And I'm gonna predict and hope. I think we're gonna get at least a 4-1 this time too. At least if I'm really on top of my game, I feel like that's where this build can take us, because at this point the only deck I really fear, you know, believe it or not, is Etron. That's a good place to be. I really feel like we may have, basically for the first time, all our you know, bases covered. I might be a tad bit soft to Is It Storm too, but we haven't seen that in a million years. You know, some Ratchet Bombs on the sideboard help, because like the main deck relics and whatnot, you know, do help against Is It Storm, against like the main plan of like going off, past and flaming, you know, like you know, got shotting for a million. But a couple Ratchet Bombs in the sideboard would help deal with the tokens, you know, or Kozilek's Returns or something, but you know, you don't see that deck that much. Sometimes Season Pyromancer can clog the board enough that they can't quite get you with all the season tokens. I mean, all the MT tokens. Fury can, you know, take care of 4 of their tokens. You know, so like we're not completely dead in the water. Plus, you know, we can bring in 2 Ensnaring Bridges, and sometimes we can empty our hand. Plus, Chalice on 2 just completely sets them out of the game, which is always nice. Anyway, let's just get to the games. Enough talking. Basically, the only deck I'm really afraid of is Etron, and secondarily, the only deck that we might be a tad bit soft to, because we have like a really clear bunch of tokens, is it Storm. I can't, like any other deck. I mean, Murktide. This card also just like goes to town against Murktide. They play so many one mana cards. Honestly, we could just take out, like, say, Pyrite Spellbomb in the Murktide matchup, and like everything else would be hunky dory. We could use Season Pyromancer to ditch like some of these other 1-drops that just aren't really doing that much. And yeah, and like honestly, even with like 12 1-drops, you know, Ragavan, Pirates, Ragavan, Relic, and Lightning Bolt. Although, yeah, I mean, even if we play like 12 1-drops, because I'm not really counting Spikefield, because you're going to play it as a land anyway. I still think we come out way ahead in the Murktide matchup anyway. I could be wrong, but I really am itching to try out Chalice in the Murktide matchup. Because yeah, I mean, like, we got our bases covered, I think, in so many matchups because of this. And we also, for the first time, have the ability to interact with artifacts and enchantments because of Blast Zone, Graveyard with Relic, lands with Magus of the Moon, creatures with burn spells or Blast Zone for that matter, or Ensnaring Bridge for that matter, to deal with creatures of any different types of you know, size, converted mana cost, whatnot, whether they're pro-red or not, you know. And we have the ability to deal with basics, and more ability to deal with lands. That's not as vulnerable as being a creature. And also, for the first time ever, the ability to interact with spells, at least on some level. We can interact with spells on the 0, 1, and 2 range fairly easily. We could even go to 3, even though 3 is going to probably screw us even more than going to 1. But if we really need it, we can even go to 3. I mean, heck, we can even go to 4. I mean, how many times have we gotten to 8 mana? Like, a lot. You know, how many times did we get to, like, hammer, like, you know, bring back hammer, play hammer? Yeah, so, like, honestly, we could even play Chalice in 4. Like, I'm excited. So far, I'm really liking the way this is playing. Anyway, enough talk. Let's get to the games. All right, see you all there. I think this is going to be either the first or the second league that expecting that this is all going to be. Kind of like a weekly, I don't know, like a weekly kind of my thoughts on the game type of thing, maybe, where I also do a shout out. Just because when I do these combined videos, I may be doing more than one. Actually, one thing I do like the about the videos is is it does enable me to up the pace of the uploads, and I have lost out a good amount of videos in the past because they just became irrelevant, because like posting essentially one league each week, you can fall behind where like you record more leagues than you end up needing to use, and then like the next set become a little bit too irrelevant to upload too much. So yeah, I think that this is probably going to be a combined league. Now, I don't know if the YouTube algorithm punishes me too much for not doing daily uploads. It's possible this becomes a daily upload. If it is, then probably the shout out happened either before or after this video. But if this is a combined video, probably the shout out's going to be in a separate video. In any case, let's get to the games already. See you on the other side. Hope you enjoy. Smash that like button. I should have said that in the beginning. I gotta remember to say that in the beginning. Anyway, let's get to the games. All right, see you all. All right, match one. Let's get to it. I think we will definitely keep this hand. It's got at least one piece of removal. It's got Ragavan. It's got Pyromancer. Now it's got another piece of removal and another creature. Gotta love it. The hands where you have Ragavan, you're just you just have so much more potential to just go nuts. Power level is over 9,000. Alright, so let's see. We definitely want to play this because if they play a Ice Fang Quaddle, we definitely want to stomp it. Bonecrusher Giant was almost made for stomping Ice Fang Quaddle. Oopsie. Alright, well I guess we'll just will we play the Bonecrusher, or will we see the Pyromancer? I don't know. No. I'm guessing I'll take the Season Pyromancer. I would. Alrighty. Oh, but no, Spell Snare me. No, Spell Snare me, bro. You think they do this before playing Triumph, but hey, who am I to judge? Alrighty. Maybe we draw Magus to the Moon, and that might just go to town. I don't think they have any reds. It's like Sultai. Okay, no Magus, but still. Bonecrusher. Now we're caught up in the Bonecrusher. Alrighty. Gotta love it. You gotta love it. Yes. Alrighty, let's see. Let's see. Oh, I just realized my microphone may have been a little bit further away. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. I think all will be okay. Then 4 cards, which is good. I thought sees me. Playing Prismatic Ending. I didn't have any white. Ooh, Murky Murk. Well, we actually can beat this. Let's see. I mean, it's not every day that you can do this, but you know, hey. Alrighty. Good thing they didn't hit my lightning bolt. That would have been nasty. Nasty. I guess maybe I should throw off lightning bolt before they can counter it, because we know they got counterspell. How exactly do we know they got counterspell? I'm not sure, but we know they got counterspell. How did they reveal this again? Oh, oh yeah, because of Abundant Harvest. Alrighty. Well, they don't. I don't think they have Death Touch. And we can stomp. Stomping seems good. Oh yeah, they're going to counter, of course. Okay, well again, I don't think... Oh yeah, they do actually. They do have, because snow-covered, snow-covered, snow-covered. Yeah, maybe we just hold back. After all, if we do try to remove it, they do take 2. So, like, there's a certain ceiling, so to speak. Maybe we should have held on a Lightning Bolt because we could have helped bait out the counterspell. We still might be able to take this. Let's see. Make no doubt about it. Okay. I know this seems bad, but I've almost always found since way back when I played Nether Go, you put the 2 good spells together with the 3 mediocre spells. Yep, see, and they take these 2, but I think that's about as good as we were gonna get, I think. Alrighty. And I mean, I like where we're at with the Den of the Bugbear. I think it's pretty good. Ain't no doubt about it. Okay. Alright, let's see. I'm gonna do this. Cryptic Command. Probably Assassin's Trophy. But do they have another piece of removal? Okay, they do. You know, fair enough. They got a little lucky. They happened to draw that. Alrighty. And we could have actually won here if I'd just been patient with the lightning bolt. What am I kidding? Of course, I still think I can have this. Should we play Ragavan? Yeah, let's play Ragavan. Yeah, they're gonna counter it, but you know, that's fine. Maybe our Obosh gets through next turn, and maybe we can play another spell even. Maybe a burn spell, maybe a Spikefield Hazard. Who knows? Hammer Bogargan would be kind of sweet right now. Alrighty. Well, let's see. Another counterspell, down to the lock. Okay, that's fine. With them at 1, you gotta like our chances well enough. They got 7 mana, we got 7 mana. Pretty even match so far. That ask and ye shall receive. Hopefully they don't force a negation. Yeah, that's fine. Next turn we'll return it. If we draw a land, then we can basically hammer every single turn, which is always nice. I think it's going to be a Murktide. They've drawn pretty well. Come on. Alright. Alrighty. That sucked. Can they attack, though? I think they can, and they kind of have to attack. Should we lead off on Hammer, or should we... I think we play Den first, because then they might have to use a Cryptic ahead of time. Well, I don't see how they can both stop a Den and a Crushing. Yeah. Alright, well, it's cool stuff. They were dead on board the whole time. Alrighty. Gotta love it. You gotta love it. Of course, Relic of Progenitus could have helped a lot with preventing Murktide's shenanigans. I'm trying to drink more water. I think water helps you think more clearly and helps you be healthier. I think this might be a matchup for Chalice. I don't expect Obosh to really stick much at all. I expect this to be a matchup where the moons and bridges are going to be super valuable. Magus, of course, is going to be nutso. Fury can be good at managing a Murktide. I just don't know beyond that. We'll play 2 Pillage. So how are we going to manage this? I don't think we need Pyrite. I believe it or not, I don't think we need Lightning Bolt, especially when we got Chalice in the mix. Season Pyromancer, Pillage, Hammer, Magus. Believe it or not, I don't think we need Bonecrusher. What am I kidding? I think Bonecrusher is better than Fury. Yeah, Bonecrusher is definitely better than Fury in this type of deck. Alright, let's do it. And they're going to be like, what? They're going to see we don't have Obosh. What's going on? If there was ever a card that's worth losing Obosh for, it is Chalice. It is Chale. Chale of the Voide. Alrighty. Chale of the Voide, alrighty. And we still have effectively 8 1-drops. I'm not counting Spikefield as a 1-drop. Okay. Hand isn't perfect, but I don't think I can bring myself to mulliganing. Alright. I don't know about mixing Thoughtseize with the traditional counter magic package. I get to taste delicious water, though. What can I say? Alright. Still got that Toy Story song stuck in my head. Strange things happening to me. Alright. I had power. I had respect, but not anymore. And I have a hard time carrying on, or something like that. Well, I think now is the time to see if we can moon them out. And maybe make this a quick match. We shall see. It's going to be hard for them to turn on Revolt when they can't have a fetch land go to the grave. Alright, carry on. Power, respect, but not anymore. Yeah, we'll just play out a Bonecrusher. And I think we kind of juked him. Yep, we juked him. We done juked. We juked. Alright, let's do this. Next one. Any day now. Wizard actually gonna give me the victory screen? Okay, there we go. Alrighty. Match 2. We're on the draw once again, but we will not let that deter us. We will keep. Once again, we have Ragavan in our starting hand, so Life could be a lot worse. Gotta love this art. Alright. Well, looks like we are facing the Murky Murk deck. So this is the funny thing. I actually, I'm gonna hold up Spikefield / Lightning Bolt. Well, that was a mistake. I thought this was the Murktide deck. It's actually Living End. So we definitely made the wrong choice there by not playing Ragavan, but you know, I think honestly it's not, in the grand scheme of things, going to make really a difference. I think we will Ragadash. Let's see. But not anymore. Whew. Alrighty. Come on. Whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa. Okay. Alrighty. It's good stuff, good stuff. I think I am going to do this. Yeah, I think that's the only thing to do. And I'm actually I think I'm going to hit my Ragavan too, now that I think about it. The logic here is that if they Living End, we get to bring back creatures. You know, is this logic that's going to carry us to victory? Probably not, but you know, we shall see. Weaker of Waves. Well, at least we can snag the Street Wraith with Fury. Things are happening to me. That's fine. Strange things. Strange things are happening to me. Ain't no doubt about it. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. I have power, power, respect, respect. Not anymore. Oh, come on. Of course it's Lightning Bolt. Oh, my, whatever. Okay, okay. You know what? I'm not one to judge. Okay, any day now. Getting a little tired. Okay. Alright. I could put Obosh to hand, but let's just do this. Alrighty. And, alright, well this is going to force their hand. Respect. Respect! Not anymore. Oh, that's a little odd. Why didn't they, they can't bow. Okay, well, I was not expecting to win this, but maybe we delayed them? I don't know. Maybe we delayed their shardless agent by our... It just felt like we were trying to be clever. You know how like we're like the opponent thinks they're clever. It seemed like we thought we were clever here, and this wasn't gonna work. But I don't know, it did. All right, well, I guess sometimes it pays to try to be clever, even though you feel a little cheeky. Like, oh man, am I really doing this? Yeah, but here we go. I think things are gonna look up for us. Probably 2 pillage. I don't know that we need 4. Well, then another one wanted to sneak in. So, I don't think we need Pyrite Spellbomb, although the cycling is always nice. I don't think we need Lightning Bolt. As much as Fury was good in that game, I don't think we actually need it. As much as Bonecrusher was good, I don't think we actually need it. Yeah, Pyrite Spellbomb, I think, is more where we want to be for cycling and whatnot. Maybe we will, yeah, replace this with a couple pillage, because at the end of the day, I think just establishing a lock is priority number 1, and then after that, yeah, establishing a lock is priority. Eventually, we'll presumably draw into our 2 hammers later in the game. So you know, at least that's the hope. But if they have no basics, then presumably we can go to town. Okay. Man, absolutely no hate of any kind is just a little. It's just a little no bueno. Well, there's some hate of some kind, and we've got a heck of a lot more where this came from. So let's do it. Ain't no doubt about it. Yeah, I don't think Blast Zone necessarily has to be there. Are they going to grief us? Okay. Well, we've got a pretty good opening where we haven't been griefed to try to okay, good. Now we might end up getting foundation broke, but you know, let's have to see. I'm gonna get a basic forest, is what I'm thinking. Basic forest is important because then under Blood Moon they can still Violent Outburst. They can't play Shardless Agent, but they can Violent Outburst. I know Foundation Breaker yet. That is a good thing. Got respect. Respect. Not anymore. Okay. Man, missing out on Obosh though is definitely a little bit. I mean, unless they dump like a kajillion street wraiths into the graveyard, then okay. Alrighty, not anymore. La 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 I'll just do this because I don't want to have to cycle anymore. I mean, I don't want to expose myself anymore when I cycle. La, 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 la. And see, this is why I like Pyrite Spellbomb, because I just really like drawing cards here rather than just burning face. Man, do I just fire off hammer? I don't think so. Well, I'm gonna do this because, like, if I draw, I guess I could have played Spikefield. I don't know. Respect, not anymore. I guess I might as well charge up Blast Zone to where it might be able to destroy one of these biggies. Alrighty. Well, there we go. I guess I'll discard the hammer and the Spikefield. Okay, that'll be good for later on. Let's see. Alrighty. As for keeping their graveyard relatively thin. And they concede. Alright. Well, on to the next one. I think with all the hate we had, we stood a pretty good chance. Alrighty. Alright, victory screen. Okay. Alrighty. Match 3, let's see. Am I finally on the play? I don't think so. We will definitely keep. We got some good stuff. Alright, we are in the play actually. Cool stuff. And let's see if they know about the classic having to deal with Ragavan on my combat step so that we can't dash it on my next turn, which makes sorcery speed removal not as good against Ragavan. Yeah, the bottom line is, like, Ragavan as a legend just is not that bad because they just have to deal with this. That's just, you know, just kind of the end of the story there. Alrighty. La. Okay. Not anymore. And I got a feeling we're gonna eat like a Path to Exile. I mean, not a Path to Exile, Fatal Push, I mean. Yep, Fatal Push. Fatal Push time. Alright, we'll do this. We'll play Relic. And yeah. Alrighty. Alrighty, tomorrow. Alrighty, okay, let's see. See if they got another Fatal Push. We got another Ragavan, so we'll see. Alright, looks like this one connects. Nice. Fortunately, not yet. We are biding our time, but not yet. Alrighty. So are they gonna Liliana us now? They are. Okay. Alrighty. And I think we will Spikefield them. Just pretty nice opportunity to exile that. And we will do this while they are tapped out. Alright, let's see. Now we can play Liliana if they have it. Ooh. Well, I mean, still, hey, like Ben Franklin said, an Arbor Elf saved is an Arbor Elf earned, you know? Remember that? Alright. Well, I do. Let's see here. This looks like the Plainswalker deck. Windswept Heath. Gonna play Grist. Grist the BS Tide. Alright, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna Lightning Bolt this excuse of a thing. And I'm going to Ragavan. I'm gonna go Arbor Elf at the Grist, and I'm gonna go Ragavan at them. And yeah, I guess let's do this. Yeah, we'll see. Righty. Earn the Great Creator. Let's see. Alright, maybe the age of Ragadashing is over. Let's do this. This is not bad. Do we want to put Obosh to hand? Probably so. Alright, let's see. Well, they officially stalled the game a bit. Man, Garth. Not worthy. Not worthy. This thing actually, why does this thing have 5 toughness? It's turned into 7. Go -1. Well, we can Fury. We could Obosh pitch the hammer, and what would that do? We could one-shot the we could deal with the Karth, but unfortunately we can't also deal with both tokens. So I think, man, one-shotting the Karn though might be kind of necessary. I think like going for like a double. I think going for like a double a double hammer lightning bolt or something is probably where it's at. Now obviously they could go get like a Witchbane orb or something like that. Oh yeah, I forgot. I can just kill it. I just really can't bring myself to just giving up on the hammer. It really does seem like we may be able to make something happen with this. Unlikely though it may be. Go to the Fury, okay. Man, this not worthy Karth is just causing all kinds of problems. Because the problem is that they can uptick for 2, and then like they're already out of range. I don't like doing this, so I'm just gonna go to the next game. Like, man, it's just like Karth just has such a big butt. It's just hard to get around. We need the moon, make no mistake. Like this is a juking them out type of match. Or combine burn spells to deal with Garth, because then if we have a bunch of creatures we can get through, but we just didn't have a lot of removal spells when we needed it with Garth, so. Pillage! Come on, get in there. There we go. Pyrite Spellbomb just gets shut off by Karn, as does Relic. I don't think they use that much graveyard. Yeah, we need to be able to hit the Plainswalkers with Fury. Pyromancer, Pillage, Hammer, Magus. Yeah, we're gonna have to mull to definitely a more solid hand with more solid mana. Okay. Yeah, we'll keep. I mean, we got to play both the dens. Okay. Alrighty. Not anymore. You'd think that they play Ren and 6, they need more 2-drops, but you know, they're Golgari, I think, not Jund. Alrighty. I think definitely Blast Zone. Yeah, Blast Zone. I need 2 of these. Alright, let's see if we have something good to pitch. Not really. So, see, problem here. Actually, you know what we think we're gonna do? If we just play Magus, then they just, yeah. You know what? Let's just play Seasoned Pyromancer, because we need to like get on board, and you know, hitting Furies a little bit. Yeah, there we go. We get the moon next turn. We need to have a good source of creatures. Yeah. We do not like this. Alrighty. Alrighty. And the +2 is really brutal here. Alrighty. Alright, so we could play Spikefield, but I don't see the need to. Okay. Man, like, we just need more burn spells, but I just don't know if that's gonna happen. Gonna uptick on the hammer, of course. Because if we had a hammer, we'd hammer in the morning. And we were born one morning with a hammer in our hand. Problem is, we can't let this thing ultimate. Alrighty. You have red? Well, I guess they have red now. Alrighty. Respect. Respect. Not anymore. Dang it, man. Like, we need to... We've beaten this deck before, but obviously this is not a good showing this match. Alright. Match 4. The only thing that frustrates me is that, like, trust me, like, you know, we can lose matches without, like, these matches being, like, bad for us. You know, we need a bigger sample size. Like, so far, I'm probably like 4 out of, like, I'm probably like 4 to 2 or something with those, with that Garth, Plainswalker deck. You know, the only thing though to keep in mind, okay, is that back when I had Flame Slash, Garth was no problem, easy to deal with. As long as you deal with Garth, that deck is piece of cake, cakewalk. But you know, I don't know if that alone is good enough reason to play Flame Slash again. But you know, I'm telling you, like, we don't need to come up with convoluted nonsense. Like, it just, you know, Flame Slash, no problem. That deck is easy peasy. Want to see it all day, every day. You know how it goes. Yeah, so we're gonna try to set up Bonecrusher with Stomp. Okay. Alrighty. Alright, so we're gonna do that on their upkeep. Just, you know, make counterspell a little more awkward. Not anymore. Alrighty. Let's see. Actually, now that I think about it, I could have just hammered Bogargan it, but I guess this way I get to play. Yeah, now that I think about it, what was I thinking? I could have just played Hammer Bogargan, but I don't know. Oh yeah, I know what I was thinking. I wanted to play around a counterspell they may have had. Yeah, maybe just attack with Den of the Bugbear for potentially lethal next turn, and then maybe all's well that ends well. See, I mean, like, what if we just 2-0 this deck really easily? Does that mean this deck shouldn't even try? Yeah, let's attack. See what we get. Opponent sacrifice creature, you gain 4 life. Okay, fine. You know, you want it, you got it. I could just play this and then play Seasoned Pyromancer, discarding Hammer. So they're gonna need basically untapped white source into Supreme Verdict, basically. Yeah, that was this is a not representative game, so just, you know, important to keep in mind for the opponent. A big part of this is not gonna be tilted by, you know, not letting the, you know, that loss get in your head, not worrying about, you know, what's going on, just trying to do your thing as best as you can, not worrying too much about the deck not performing well. If you have a big enough sample size, and if you've tested with it long enough, if you know your deck, then you know when you're getting unlucky, and you know, or you have some idea of when you're getting unlucky, and some idea of when you're truly getting juked with bad luck. Yeah, I think we're going full Ponza. So, okay, how's this gonna work? I don't think we need Fury. I don't think we need Bonecrusher, actually. Yeah, and then there we go. Actually, I do think we need Bonecrusher. I take it back. I don't think we need Lightning Bolt, and I know that seems weird, but trust me, against these control-ish decks, we want max threats for, even when we have 12, even when we have 24 3-drops. But we do have a lot of cyclers to help cycle into them. But yep. Strange things are happening to me. And a lot of these are haymakers. I have to like counter almost every single one. Ain't no doubt about it. Righty. No. I can do better than this. Yeah, and this is better. I mean, Hammer is good, but we'll hopefully draw into another one later. Oh, this isn't quite control, now that I think about it. Maybe taking out Lightning Bolt wasn't really where we wanted to be, but I don't know. This is mill control, I guess. Millie control-y. Alrighty. Let's see if they block. If they do, then I think they're mine. Alright. Alright. That way they can't counter. What is this? Path to Exile? Don't mind if I do. Okay. Fracturing Sanity. Strange things are happening to me. Ooh, ouchie, ouchie, ouchie. Well, I think I can drop Blood Moon, and that might actually be worth it. It might be worth taking that horrible beating there. An extra land would have been nice for Relic, but, you know, hey, winners, they... Actually, I guess I do get an extra land because this comes into play untapped now. Strange things are happening. Alrighty. Ain't no doubt about it. Okay. Alrighty. Without 2 blue, I think it's harder for them. That's fine. Yeah, I'm gonna play Bonecrusher. Hammer can deal with whatever they throw at me. And Carve Trap. Alright, well at least I can hammer that. If I had a hammer, which I do, then I'd hammer in the morning. I'd hammer in the evening, all over this land. Man, I'd love to take out the land, but yeah, maybe I do have to take out the land, because then they can't play Lurrus, and if they can't play Lurrus, then I don't have to crack Relic. Nah, I'll just crack Relic. No, you know, I don't want them to play Lurrus. I just really don't. Just no thanks. Is it black or white? I don't know. I don't know. So far, I haven't really seen much black. Anyway, let's attack. Okay, let's yeah, let's just do this. And hopefully we so like we can go down to 4 cards, but I think we can win with 4 cards on top. You know, preventing Lurrus from coming down definitely has some of its advantages. Alrighty. I could put Obosh to hand to go for the win, but I'm a little bit worried that they'll Visions of Beyond and go nuts. That being said, I think I have to try to go for the win this turn. Okay. Strange things. Strange things are happening to me. Ain't no doubt about it. Da 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 da. Okay. Awesome. What's this? Esper Mill. Esper Mill. 1-0. Nice. What the? Wasn't this game 1? Oh no, this is game 2, I guess, wasn't it? Yeah, pillage. Okay, alright, I'll take it. Alright, match 5, we're playing for the 4-1. Let's see. Obosh, let's go. That can do better than this. Let's go. Okay, slightly better. Let's go. Don't need 2 hammers. Let's go. Strange things are happening to me. Oh, I can hit my 3rd mana, alright, even though I mulliganed the first hand with only 1 mana. Okay. And, I had a feeling they had Ice Fang. At least we get to stomp for good value. Hopefully, for good value. Strange things. Yeah. Yep. Well, let's play this. I know it's just gonna get countered, but annoying. Whoa. Let's just play this. Alrighty. Well, I'm just playing this out because I don't think this is the strongest card right now, but it is, better late than never type of thing, I think. I mean, like, if we come back after this horrible mana screw, it's got to count for something. This BS deck. The dirtliest of dirtle decks of all time. They counter my frickin' Pyrite Spellbomb. I mean, fine, I guess. Do I go for seasoned or do I go for... Yeah, let's go for seasoned. It'll probably get counter, but whatever. Alrighty, that's fine. So I still get a lot of tokens. I mean, I guess I'll do this. I mean, they probably have a counter spell, but whatever. Alright, fine. Let's see if I draw like another bolt or a Spikefield Hazard. Oh, there we go. Alright, so maybe we can actually outgrind this. We'll do this on the rest on the upkeep. And we'll do it before, We want Spikefield to be the last one because it'll exile it. Yeah, there we go. Alright, man, maybe we outgrind this nonsense. That'd be insane. Yeah, let's get our season game going. Please, no Factor Fiction. Okay. Alright, let's see. Alright. I think I'm still gonna get my season token game going because it's uncounterable, so I can just generate some uncounterable pressure. It's always nice. Alright, well, I can try to block with the season tokens. I think it's worth trying. If they want to path me or something, that's fine. We'll play another Solitude, I guess. Well, hopefully they don't have another counterspell, because then obviously killing 2 Solitudes with Fury is kind of the ideal. And I may... Let's see here. 2, 3, 4, 5. So here's how I think I'm going to do it. I could have played Fury, but I'd rather get in there with the Bugbear. Yeah, I think getting in there with the Bugbear is slightly better. Yeah, we'll do this. Okay. I mean, if they block, fine by me. Okay. Alrighty. Little Teferi. Little Teferi. The littlest of Teferis. Alright. Alrighty. Yeah, let's just do this. Bam, bam, bam. Money, gram, gram, gram. Let's try to hit the little Teferi. Yep. Let's do this. Let's put Obosh to hand. I feel like I'm more incentivized to attack with Den of the Bugbear, though, than play Obosh. Alrighty. Well, that was an unexpected victory game one. I mean, we got so mana screwed in the beginning, but I guess mana screw in the beginning is not as bad as mana flood later in the game. Oh man, what a mana flood that is. Oof. I guess that's why, I don't know, I think those other games that I conceded early, it really was over. This one, though, definitely, you know, this one, it was not, it was clearly not over until it was over. We want Pillage. Do we want Blood Moon? I don't know. Do we want Chalice? Maybe we do want Chalice. Let's think about this for a second. No, Chalice pretty much only hits Ephemerate. Does Relic even do anything? Doesn't seem like. They probably have a Stoneforge Mystic in here somewhere that we just didn't see. Could have some pro-white creature in here that we also don't see. I guess I'll go without Blood Moon. Yeah, I don't know that we need Blood Moon. Maybe I'm being a little bit cheeky to not, you know, to think that we don't need Blood Moon. But maybe we don't. Maybe we don't. Alrighty. Let's see here. Yeah, I'll keep. I can't, like, I mean, it's not like a perfect hand, but these types of hands do have potential. Alright, so they mulligan once. It's good for us, obviously. The more they mulligan, the better our chances. I think I'm going to hold on to the Spikefields, both because they're great against Icefang Quaddle, and because they're excellent pitches to Season Pyromancer. Rime Woodfalls. Rime. Rime. Okay. Let's just see. I mean, we'll go after the basic. Just, you know, maybe make our mages slightly better. Okay, okay. Well, of Omens is a really good blink target. Probably the best blink target. Dang it, man. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't have played this out like this, but I don't know. Their removal spells are not the absolute best. They don't have the killer ones like Fatal Push and Lightning Bolt. Yeah, and now they're in a situation where maybe I can sneak damage. Alrighty. Do I just play Season Pyromancer into a counterspell? I don't know. Yeah, I do, because then I can always just get the tokens back next turn. Alrighty, do I stop next turn? I mean, why wouldn't I? Alrighty. Alright, let's see. Alright. So, I might eat a Supreme Verdict here, but, you know, that might give me the opportunity to stick something. Might. Keyword might. Alrighty. That's not the biggest deal in the world to me. Did we somehow pull it off? That would be pretty sweet. It seems like their hand kind of crapped out on them. Pardon the French. Ooh, I don't have more instant speed removal though, so they do have the blocks with the. Okay. Ooh, sassy. How very sassy of them. Alrighty. Well, let's. Strange things are happening to me. Ain't no doubt about it. Alright, let's see if we can finish them off with hammers of Bogargan's. GG's. I guess, yeah, cool stuff. Oh man, that sucks. Oh, that sucks. Alright, well, hey, we'll take it. A win's a win, right? Okay. Alrighty. Alright, post-league wrap-up. So, yeah, what's the takeaway? Obviously the whole Flame Slash tech, you know, could have helped with that Garth. You know, Invader, Garth, whatever, I don't know, whatever you know, but honestly, you know, since I mean, our odds of being able to have like a Fury plus a Lightning Bolt, or a Fury plus a Pyrite, or a Pyrite plus a Lightning Bolt, or a Pyrite plus a Hammer, or like there's a lot of different color, combination of cards that we can still deal with Garth. Maybe we just got unlucky and didn't hit the combination we needed, and we could have got a 5-0. Definitely hardly feels like it's the deck's fault per se. Yeah, so let's, I mean, Sultai Murktide, that seemed pretty easy. Main deck, Relic, we got the Ensnaring Bridges, which didn't actually come up, and, we have the Chalices, which, like, the thing is, since with 20 creatures in the main, with, Den of the Bugbear as manland, I just feel like maybe we don't actually need, need Obosh that bad. So, yeah, Living End felt pretty easy, even though like that first game felt kind of like a steal. Just don't forget to, just bin your own creatures sometimes. Just it might delay them, and sometimes it buys you enough turns to drop a moon effect. Yeah, Esper Mill, the moons definitely got us there. Chalice could have been good. I'm not sure if I brought Chalice in or not. I think I did. So what were we doing? I think we brought Chalice in against Murktide. Yeah, Temur, Living End, Esper Mill. I think pretty good. It was pretty good, and it plays a solid role, I think, in those matchups. Ban Ephemerate, I think the only thing that really it does hit is Ephemerate, so, and I guess Path to Exile. But yeah, like, pretty good stuff. I don't know what really to complain about the deck. I think the deck has a heck of a lot of potential, and I like it, and, yeah, it's got a lot of utility. It's got a lot of mana disruption. It's got all the hate pieces here. Like the thing is, like, this is a very kind of mid-rangey Ponza-ish. This is kind of like a cross between black-red mid-range without the black, and Ponza kind of a style going on in the main deck, with, of course, unlimited grind with Hammer Bogargan. Little clunky in the beginning, but still a burn spell that gets the job done, but also just unlimited clunky, card advantage later in the game. But yeah, and we've got the Chalice of the Voids, got the Blood Moons, the Pillages, and Snaring Bridge. Like, we've got all the prison elements if we need them in the right matchup. So I mean, I think there is something to be said about this deck. I do. Probably going to be running this for a little while. Again, if Etron is absolutely everywhere, then I think Voidmere is going to be your jazz instead of Chalice. But I think unless, yeah, I mean, Burn is almost always, I think, going to be more prevalent than Etron. It's just the nature of things. And because of that, I just think Chalice is just has a lot of merit here. The main thing, we didn't get to see it come up, but the main thing is Chalice on 2 is pretty free real estate. Chalice on 0 is pretty free real estate, and Chalice on 2 is pretty free real estate. And Chalice on 2 is not that difficult, for us to get to. Like, we get to 4 mana all the time, very, very much on curve. So, that's what I'm particularly excited to do going forward, is play Chalice on 2, and, we'll see how this goes. But, we can even play Chalice on 1. I mean, if we're playing against a deck that has a ton of 1-drops, we don't mind, ditching like our Pyrite Spellbomb, maybe even ditching Lightning Bolt. And, I mean, sometimes just Relic and just Ragavan, or just Lightning Bolt and just Ragavan, depending on the matchup. Sometimes that's all you need. Anyway, yeah, so until next time, hope you all enjoyed, and yeah, let's see. Hope, subscribe if you want to see more like this, and, smashing that like button helps out a lot. If you watched this far, that little extra effort to smash the like button is super appreciated. I mean, you're already, like, I think, in the elite group of people if you made it this far to watch all the way to the end. So definitely appreciated. Definitely thank you to all of my fans, all of my patrons, everybody. Take care, and yeah, all right.